right, good morning, guys. This is ACA for Monday, the 28th. We have 2 warm-up questions. Please make sure you're getting these done. As we already talked about in my class, even though we're not finding the area, even though it's hidden, we start every single problem with those formulas. We substitute in what we know, and then we solve from there. Please pause and then play when you're ready. All right, with number 1, we always like to start with the shape. What kind of shape is number 1? Oh, let's try that one more time. What kind of shape is number 1? Parallelogram. That's the first test is getting the correct formula. What is the formula for a parallelogram? Awesome, guys. A equals B. All right, so sorry to catch up. I don't know where I left off. Over here, A is equal to BH. We said that our area was 40 is equal to 10 times H. To get H by itself, we divided by 10. Divided by 10, and we get 4 yards. That's yards is equal to my height. Okay. On this side, we started with the triangle. I'm sorry, I didn't record this step by step. We started with our triangle formula and then substituted in what we know. Our area was 225 is equal to 1/2 BH, which is 30 times height. We said that we can go ahead and do 1/2 of 30, which is 15, and then be left with H. Again, to get H by itself, I see multiplication. I am do it with division, which is where we're at right now in our work. I'm sorry, I forgot to record that part. 12 minus 5 is 7. 1 minus 1 is 0. I need to bring it down. Okay? How many times do y'all think 15 goes into 75? 5. Y'all good with that? Because I know in an hour that gives me 4 quarters is 60 minutes. So it's just another 15. Could I work that out if I needed to? Of course. Okay, so this cancels out. I'm left with H, and then we said 225 divided by 15 is 15. Fun math. Okay, my units on that one is yards as well. It's just yards because it's just the height. It's just yards. Okay, are y'all feeling okay about that? You feel refreshed from the weekend? Okay, what questions, for those of y'all saying not really, what questions can I help clarify before we move on?
Well, I just realized I forgot to do those.
And that's the biggest mistake that 6th graders make, is that 1/2. Last week when y'all were working on that activity, I would see so many of y'all start with the correct formula, A equals 1/2 BH, and then when you substitute it in, let's say you put 120 is equal to like 15H, and y'all didn't bring down that 1/2. Okay, so that's what you have to work on. That's something on you. Like, that's not something I can tell you to fix. It's just making sure you copy every single thing down. Sort of like relating it to order of operations, how you rewrite every single part of the problem every single time. Because sometimes you leave off parts and you get the answer. Same thing here. Any other things that I can help clarify with before we go to today's lesson? Okay, a quick reminder that y'all had a test review posted last Thursday. We sent an announcement, and I said in class, but because of the STEAM field trip, I know some of us maybe missed it. You have a test review that's in Aware. That test review is not due tonight, but tomorrow night.
But it says Wednesday.
Yes, we go over it in class on Thursday. Because it's an online one, you have to submit it online the night before. Okay? So if you have not started it, I would go do half of it tonight and the other half of it tomorrow. You should know after today, I think you'll know, after today, you should know everything that's going to be on there. So go and get as much of it done as possible. Again, you'll also have tomorrow night, but it's never good to leave it till the last minute. Never, ever. Huh? Well, it doesn't say that on the calendar or in the Canvas class, but that's awesome if you've already got it done. Okay? So today we're going to learn about the last of our 2D shapes. Again, that's a little reminder for our test review tomorrow. But today we're going to learn about the last of the 2-dimensional shapes. It did say on the board to get out highlighters. I'm honestly going to do the activity for us again online. You're not going to be able to watch it because I can't record it on the thing. Okay? But let's look at it. I'm going to pause and then play when we're ready. All right, so let's look at this trapezoid. Again, we just said that a trapezoid, the unique fact, the unique characteristic about a trapezoid is what one more time?
It's one side of parallel. One set of parallel.
Class, everyone, we just said a trapezoid, what's unique about it?
One side of parallel.
One set of parallel sides. Okay, so a parallelogram can be, as we sort of saw with the triangles, any parallelogram can be split into two congruent, two equal triangles. The same could be said about a trapezoid. I can start with any trapezoid, or sorry, I can start with any parallelogram. Okay, do y'all see this parallelogram that it started with? Yes. The one that's outlined in blue? Okay, there is a way that I can cut any parallelogram into two congruent trapezoids. And that's what they've done right here. Okay, I'm just going to outline one of them. Now, because it's congruent, I can take that shape, I can rotate it, and slide it over, and it's exactly the same shape. If Miss Otto was very meticulous, it would be exactly the same size. It would be congruent. Okay? So, therefore, when we find the area of that trapezoid, we first, maybe you've noticed this, we first start by finding the area of that parallelogram. Now, when I look at the parallelogram, is this part of the parallelogram the same size or length as that side? No, clearly those are not the same. So when I'm finding the base length of the parallelogram, it's going to be this part, it's one base plus the other base. Do you see how it ends up being the top plus the bottom of that trapezoid? Some sort of acknowledgement. Do we see how I'm adding basically the top and the bottom of the trapezoid to get the base length? Yes. Yes. Okay, what do we notice about the height of that trapezoid or that parallelogram? What do you mean by it's the same? It's the same as the other side. What else do we notice about the height that we've noticed in other shapes? The height is perpendicular to the base, meaning that it makes a right angle. Okay, so that is still going to happen. Okay, so let's get out our trusty best friend, okay, and look at that formula. Okay, what does it say for the area of a trapezoid?
A equals 1/2 B 1 plus B 2 H.
Okay, it looks like that. So let's break all of that down. A stands for area. Okay, is equal to half of the parallelogram. Okay, in this part right here, again, we're finding the area of the parallelogram. There's that base times the height. Now, the reason why the base looks different is because to find the base of this parallelogram, I have to take the shorter base plus the taller base. Do y'all see that? To find the actual area of the whole thing, I'm having to add this small one plus this big one. Are y'all good with that? Yeah. Okay. So instead of just one B, it's the two different base sizes. Base plus base, and then I do times the height. And then because I only want the trapezoid, again, I take half of it. Again, this Bible is not ever going to test you on the reason behind this formula. All I'm going to test you is on plugging it in and solving it. Okay? But, okay. So let's look at the formula again. Again, you're going to plug in 1/2 the base 1 plus the base 2. Sorry, I got base 1 plus base 2 times the height. Now, the bases. What did Miss Lytle, or what do y'all notice now about those two bases? Those bases are what to each other? They are parallel. Okay? Miss Lytle will spice it up. I'm letting you know right here and right now. The bases I won't always have on the bottom and the top. I can rotate a parallelogram, or sorry, a trapezoid very easily. Okay? I can take this parallelogram and I can rotate it just like that. But in order for it to be the bases, the two bases have to be parallel. So in this case, my bases are they the top and bottom or the side of the side? The side of the side. Okay? Miss Lytle will try to trick you straight up. I'm going to tell you honest. Okay? The bases will always be parallel. So let's just do a few practice problems. Okay? I know Miss Lytle's voice is only so helpful. Okay? This just talks more about the height having to be perpendicular. So let's look. Okay? So I see this shape. What kind of shape is that? It is a trapezoid. I know it's a trapezoid because one side of parallel sides. Guess how many times we can see that? 6 million. Okay? So what you can do, one second. All right, we're going to start with one method. We're actually going to steer off of the formula that we're given, and we're going to look at it in a different way. Okay, it says model 1, we're going to compose a parallelogram, meaning I'm going to duplicate that trapezoid. So you can try and do this roughly. I know that I don't think able to do this better because I have fancy technology. What you're going to try and do, and I'll help you by sliding this over, I want you to fill in and try I see that the base down here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to extend this line up here by 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? Then I'm going to put this base length down here. So 1, 2, 3 up here. I'm going to extend it 1, 2, 3 down here. Then you can try and use like the side of your tool folder to connect this to down here. Okay? Try and connect that. Okay, I see people talking and not drawing, so it's really difficult. Okay, so again, we're making a parallelogram, and we're going to start with like different ways we can find the area of the trapezoid. So we said I can find the area of the trapezoid first, and then to just get the, I'm mixing up the words. We said that we can first find the area of the parallelogram, and then if I only want the trapezoid, what would I do in the end? I would make a line and I would cut it in half. Okay? So let's start with finding A is equal to B. Let's first find the area of that parallelogram. Okay, that red shape. So on that, what is my base length for this red shape? I had 3 and then I had 7. So together that base is going to be 10. And my height, talking about how tall. I see a right angle right here, so I'm going to count 8 times 8. Are y'all good with that? Okay, 10 times 8 is 8. Now, is that the area of my trapezoid?
No.
No, that's the area of the whole parallelogram. And again, I only want how much of that? I want half of it. So I need to divide it by 2. So the area of that trapezoid is going to end up being 40. And not just 40, but 40 units squared. Okay? Y'all think y'all can try that next one on your own? Great. Go. Pause and play. Okay, again, in order to duplicate, I see 4 here, so I'm going to extend this by 4. I see this is 2 here, so I'm going to extend this by 2. Connect those dots, and then I have 1 full parallelogram. Okay, so let's find the dimensions. The base is what?
So this is
6. The height is 3. The area is going to end up equaling 18. But do I want that whole thing for the trapezoid? No, I only want how much? Half. So I'm going to divide by 2. My area is 9 square units.
Is this what's going to be on?
This could be on the test. Okay, this is one method. Yes? Okay. Okay, moving on. This is not my ideal way to do it, but they do, like on the STAR test, they like to challenge y'all and be like, okay, yeah, there's a formula way, but how else could you do it? So this is just showing another way you could do it. Method 2, we could also, what do you see them doing here? They started with a trapezoid, but then what did they do? How did they break it down? Not a square, but a rectangle and triangles. Okay, so if I break it down like that, do I know how to find the area of a rectangle? Do I know how to find the area of triangles? Yes, and then what do I do with all of those? Add them up. Okay, so you could do that as well. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to break it down. I'm going to do the area of my rectangle, and then I'm going to do the area of the triangles. Okay, starting with my rectangle, what's the formula for rectangle? A equals BH. For this rectangle, what is my base and what is my height? 6 times 5. What's 6 times 5? 30. Thank you so much. Okay, so we have figured out this blue space. Are we good with that? Okay, now we need to look at the triangle. Now, there's a couple ways you can look at these triangles. Okay, I could either take, are these triangles the same shape? Let's ask that. Okay, they have the same area. So, one way I could do it is I could find the area of one of the triangles and then add it with the other one. Or, could I move the other one and make it one big triangle?
Yeah, but you don't need to do it.
I mean, I could. Technically, it's easier for me. I'm going to do that, honestly, because I want to make one FSS rather than 2 FSS. Okay, so a triangle. What is the formula for a triangle? 1/2 BH. Very good. So go ahead and bring down that 1/2, especially if I know that I tend to forget it. Now, again, this auto is going to spice up your life. What is the base length of this? Not 3, 6, because I put those 2 together. This is 3 and this is 3. So together that base is 6 inches. That height is 5. Very good. Okay. Can I go ahead and get rid of that fraction? I could do 1/2 of 6 to give me 3. Multiply that by 5, I get 15. Am I done yet? No. What do I still need to do? I've already gotten rid of my divided by 2. I did 1/2 of 6. Add 15 and 30. I need to do 15 plus 30. In total, I get 45 square inches. Okay? If the trapezoid formula is overwhelming, sometimes it is, because there's a lot of letters. Sometimes it can be overwhelming. So what you can do instead is break it down into pieces that you know. Okay? Looking at that next trapezoid, what do you notice about that next trapezoid that's different than the one we just did together? It only has 1 triangle versus 2. Well, does that mean it's not a trapezoid?
No.
No. Okay? So, again, the thing about a trapezoid is quadrilateral. It has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. That's still true. And then it has 1 set of parallel sides. Does this still only have 1 set of parallel sides? Yes. Yeah. Those other ones, those sides, would eventually run out. Okay? So, the thing about trapezoids is sometimes there's 1 triangle and sometimes there's 2. You just have to be careful and tell which one you do. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and move along just for time's sake because I think y'all sort of understand. I want to get to the nitty-gritty formula from the start chart. Okay? This is calculating it as a whole. So we always want to start with our formula, substitute, and then solve. So let's start with that formula. Just copying it. So noticing this formula versus the one on our star chart, this has the H before. The one on our star chart has the H at the end. Is there a difference? No, because of the order of multiplication does not matter if it's all multiplying. I choose to put the H at the end. Okay, so let's start with A is equal to 1/2 V1 plus V2 times H. One more time, let's review. A stands for area. Base 1 and base 2. What has to be true about the bases? They have to be, nope, that's not true. They have to be parallel. Okay, and then the height needs to be
perpendicular.
right angle or perpendicular. Very good. Okay, it is a lot of stuff that you have to remember, but I'm going to have you all repeat it 6 out of time. Yay. Love that. So let's substitute. A is equal to, let's go ahead and bring that 1/2 down. In this one, what are my sides? Top and bottom or side and side? Top and bottom, move on because they are parallel. Now, it doesn't matter which one is base 1 or base 2, as long as they, because it's going to be added no matter what. That order does not matter. Thank you, Ryan Jackson. Okay, so I'm going to put in parentheses 11 plus 14, close parentheses. My height is 8. Okay. Now, cool. I noticed some stuff in there. Order of operations tells me I have to do with part first. That's parentheses. So 11 plus 14 is 25. Do you agree with that statement? Okay. Okay, so we take it 1 step at a time. We do the grouping first. And now let's see, can I get rid of that fraction? Yeah, I can do 1/2 of 8. Okay, 1/2 of 8 is 4. So again, I'm going to cross those out because I've used them. And I'm going to put 4 at the end. Okay, 25 times 4 is 100. My units are very good. You can. Do you want to try both of them or just one? Oh, okay. Try both of them. Ready, set, go. Try it out. Pause and play when you're ready. Starting with my formula. A is equal to
1/2 7 plus 12.
Nope.
Or 1/2 B1 plus B2. And then
H. Okay, one, help me out with substituting. What can I substitute in? A is equal to
12 meters.
Before I get there.
9 point.
Okay, pause. Okay, the 1/2 is what I was missing. Okay, 1/2. Well, which two of those are the bases?
12 meters.
12 and there's 2 bases. 12 and 7, why did you choose those? I agree, but why?
There's a flat line.
They're parallel, okay? So I agree with 7 and 12, okay? And then my height is
9.8.
9.8. My height is 9.8 class because
It's right angle.
it's that right angle. Very good. Perfect. Order of operations tells me to do what first? Parentheses. 7 plus 12 is 19. Bring everything else down. 19 times 9.8. Okay? I would probably still, even though it's not going to be pretty in either situation, I would probably still try and get rid of that half. What do y'all want to do? Half of 9.8. What's half of 9.8? 4.9. Okay? 1/2 of 9.8 is 4.9 times 19. Okay? How do I mathematically find that out? Put it down and stop. How do I figure out half of 9.8? If I didn't know that off the top of my head, if I can't do mental math, Kennedy, how could I get there? 9.8 divided by 2. That gives me 4. 9 minus 8 is 1. Bring down that 8. 2 goes into 18. 9 times. With that decimal, did I need to move it or just bring it up? Let's bring it up, and that's how we got that 4.9. Okay, just in case you need help. All right, now I'm not done. I still need to do what operation with these two? I need to multiply. So let's do that. 4.9 and 19. Remember, multiplication with decimals is the same as normal. You just move the decimal in the end. So with me. 9 by 9 is
81.
81. Carry that 8. 4 by 9 is 36, and 36 plus 8 is 44. It's 44. Pause. It is 44. I'm done with the 9. Add the 0.
Oh no.
9 by 1 is 4 by 1 is 4. I'm sorry, I'm writing on top. 1, 3, 9. And then move the decimal 1 time. Okay? A is equal to 93.1
meters squared.
Okay? Okay. Again, if we got that answer wrong, and I have all of this work, am I going to get some partial?
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay? I know we still have lots of math errors. Those are with y'all's multiplication. You still need to fine tune it for some of y'all. And so I'm, of course, going to give you partial credit because you're showing most of your work correctly. Okay? Let's do another one.
Yes.
Okay? Yeah, do it real quick. All right, I've gotten up to here. I've substituted pause, and I've solved a little bit for time's sake. I'm going to go ahead and put the answer. Okay? I'm going to say that the answer when you multiply those two numbers, you should get 63.75 inches squared. Now I'm going to keep moving because we got a few other weird questions to look at, and I want to make sure we have time as a group. Okay? This next one. Okay, looking at this one, it gives me, this is one of the ones where they give me the area and you have to find the height. Now, because the trapezoid formula is a little spicier, they actually gave us the formula to help us out. Okay, let's look at that. It says that H is equal to 2A over B1 plus B2. Now, that is way complicated. I'm not even going to explain how they got that formula. But I have the formula. What do we typically do after we get the formula? We substitute our values. Again, do I know my H? No. So I'm going to leave that off to the side. Okay. It says it is equal to 2A. So that would be 2 times
108.
Very good. 2 times 108 over B1 plus B2. My bases are 15 and 12. So I'm substituting. Now I'm going to solve. Okay. When I have fractions like this, where I have stuff in the numerator, stuff in the denominator, I solve both of them first, and that last step is going to be to divide. Okay, so if I double 108, I'm going to get 216, because I doubled the 100 and I doubled 8, 216. If I add 12 and 15, I would get 27. So all I really need to do is divide. Okay, 216 divided by 20, pause, 27. Does 27 go into 2?
Nope.
Does it go into 21? Let's guess, 216, how many times? Let's try 5. 27 times 5, let's see where that gets us. That's going to be 35, 135. Could I go more?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot more. Let's try, what do y'all want to try?
Not 8. Not the minus 1.
What do y'all want to try?
8.
8. 27 times 8. We can always add another 27 if we want to. 7 by 8 is 56. Carry that 5. 2 by 8 is 16 plus 5 is 21. 8 times. Perfect. Okay, so 8 is my height, so that's going to be 8. What? 8. Okay? Are we feeling pretty okay? Again, if I ask you to find the missing dimension of a trapezoid, I'll give you that formula, but chances are I'll probably do it with a triangle. Okay? Let's see. Is that going to be the rest of it? Okay, part of practice. You're doing odd. Ready, set, go. For those of y'all at home, you can check your partner practice at home. Your homework is going to be even, and then working on that test for you. Thank you.